Hola, what's going on, guys? I'm coming at you today from Wichita on this beautiful Sunday morning to come talk to you guys about Metaplanet stock, what I believe is quite an opportunity in the market right now. This is we're in unprecedented times when it comes to Metaplanet and its MNAV. It's multiple compared to its net asset value. We're back down to $3.50 per share on Metaplanet, and in my humble opinion, I think that is just so insanely undervalued. It's crazy. You know, like they are, I believe now, the number 4 they have the number 4 largest Bitcoin treasury in the world, with over 30,000 Bitcoins, and they keep raising their targets as far as when they think they'll have a certain amount of Bitcoins. So that's pretty wild, because they keep, you know, exceeding expectations. At the end of the day, like, this company has shown like a history of under promising and over delivering, you know, so that's something important to think about, especially when right now their goal is 210,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2027. So I mean, we're dang near at the beginning of 2026 right now, and they've got over 30,000. And like I said, they keep beating their estimates, so it's like, man, who knows what's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, at $3.50 per share, we just saw it go to like $4.50 a share. It's just a super volatile stock. It is like a trader's dream for this stock to like kind of try to trade it, because recently, in recent months, it's been trading basically between like $3.50 and $4.50, and we're MNAVs so low at this point, but with like such large opportunities still in front of it. It's kind of crazy to think about, because like I said, people were paying a much more expensive valuation for this company just a few months ago, and nothing's really changed with the fundamentals of the company whatsoever, or the fundamentals of Bitcoin. Right, so nothing fundamentally has changed. The stock prices just went down a lot. They did issue quite a few shares, so I guess you could consider that a fundamental change, but we're not really, seeing as the fact that they've been saying that they were going to do that. But that brings me to my next point, where they actually just came out with news saying that they are suspending equity offerings, essentially is what they're saying, for like, I don't remember the time frame, but it's like basically what it looks like is, at these prices, they don't really have much interest in diluting equity any further, because if there's no value, if there's no multiple to your net asset value, it really doesn't make sense to dilute your existing shareholders. You're just going to make everybody mad, and then you're really going to have it's going to be bad for Metaplanet. So I think they are a very adaptive team, where basically they've got many different outlets, just like Michael Saylor did with MicroStrategy. They've got a whole bunch of different outlets to essentially just get filthy wealthy with Bitcoin. The biggest being, for these Bitcoin treasury companies, they have to have attention. That's why Michael Saylor's always saying volatility is vitality, and that basically these Bitcoin treasury companies are a leveraged play on Bitcoin. Basically Bitcoin price has to move a lot, and then these net asset values will go up even more, with respect to the dollar for dollar conversion to Bitcoin, because these Bitcoin treasury companies have so many different ways of accumulating capital, of buying Bitcoin at the end of the day with other people's money. It's absolutely genius. And it's like, if you believe in Bitcoin and that it's not a Ponzi scheme, then MicroStrategy and Metaplanet are also not Ponzi schemes. Or if you believe that they are, okay, is the US dollar any different? Or is it just a Ponzi scheme as well? Right? Is all currency a Ponzi scheme? So once you get, these Bitcoin treasury companies, they really red pill you. It's like right now, in a time where governments are buying Bitcoin, companies are buying Bitcoin, just everyone is buying Bitcoin. It's a crazy world we live in, so I think 350 is a steal. I think I've made that kind of obvious that I think that. That being said, we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. My price target for the end of the year it's got to be like 150K plus. And I could be wrong about that, but it's just with, era Trump constantly tweeting about how good he thinks Bitcoin's going to do. And with, he's a big factor, right? Because he knows what's going on, politically wise, with his dad being the president of the United States. And then just like historically, Q4 being such a good time for Bitcoin. It's not like every single year it's good, but like most years, it's, the portion of the time when Bitcoin does the best, as well as with the imminent rate cuts because of all these bad jobs numbers. There's a few macro events that are kind of messing around with everything, like these new tariffs on China. I don't think those are going to last, but that's kind of messing up with stuff. The new Gaza deal is amazing. I mean, that's freaking fantastic. So that should shoot, more certainty in the stock market that there's going to be less chance of a freaking nuclear war. Yeah, it's really just Russia, Ukraine needs to get figured out from that point. But like the biggest things are like the Fed has got to reduce rates, right? And when they reduce rates, they make, the U.S. dollar more accessible to more people. They create more demand for the U.S. dollar. It also is going to basically, rise asset prices. We all know that. More people are going to be buying things, so the stock market's going to go up. It increases the debasement of our currency even more. It's easier to get the currency, which that's the new popular argument for everyone to have, right? Is that the dollar is getting debased so much that it's not even asset prices going up a lot. It's just like with respect to the dollar is just getting debased like crazy. So yeah, anyway, there's just so many tailwinds for Bitcoin. It's amazing. And one of the biggest tailwinds just being so many institutions, governments, companies, you name it, they're all buying in right now. It's just like I saw in this most recent crash that BlackRock bought I want to say it was 5,000 more Bitcoin, 50,000 more Bitcoin. It was some stupid number. It was I think it was $5 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's what it was. It was $5 billion US worth of Bitcoin. So, yeah, the inflows are just crazy large, So, yep. If you believe in Metaplanet, if you believe in Bitcoin, it's really hard not to believe in Metaplanet. And I just risk-reward basis, I really think that they're set up for just gigantic future success. And as long as they treat their shareholders well, which they are incentivized heavily to do, they need shareholders' money, need to set up trust with shareholders, in order for more shareholders to want to buy in, right? So it's I just think the people that are getting in early, and I still think this is definitely early for Metaplanet, I think they're going to, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm going to be buying more on Monday as long as it doesn't shoot up a lot. If it's in the 350 ranges, you bet I will be purchasing. And I think I'll be purchasing quite a bit. I'll sell some of my stocks that have went up quite a bit. I'm not going to make it, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to make Metaplanet 100% of my portfolio. Most of my portfolio is still in Tesla stock, but a significant chunk of my money, I don't know. I'm gonna make the position large, right? I'm the type of guy I like to have calculated investments, and I don't want to be too diversified. I like to have 2 or 3 or 4 different investments that I think over time are going to make a lot of money. And then, if 1 or 2 of them fail, okay, because the other ones went up a lot. So these high risk, high reward investments that I put a lot of thought and time into, that's the kind of investor I am. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure to tune in, subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys.